Hello everyone, welcome to Lost in the Reel. Today was day 3 of Sundance and I have 3 reviews to share with you. The first film I'm going to go over is Wild Indian, the second is Flea, and the third is Superior. So, let's talk about it. Wild Indian was the 5th film that I saw at Sundance. It is directed by Lyle Mitchell Corbine Jr. and stars Michael Greyeyes, Chaske Spencer, Jesse Eisenberg, and Kate Bosworth. The movie is all about 2 Native American men who learn how to confront a traumatic secret that they share involving the savage murder of one of their schoolmates. Wild Indian follows our 2 protagonists, Ted O and Makwa, during their childhood on the reservation. Makwa, right from the get-go, you can tell he's a very troubled young boy. He shows up to Catholic school with bruises on his face, and you can tell that he's isolated from the other children. Ted O, on the other hand, just seems like a kid with a really good heart, and takes Makwa under his wing to get away from his abusive father and mother who seems like she couldn't care less about him. Unfortunately, this relationship goes sour when the said murder happens, and this really changes these 2 boys' lives forever. The rest of the film follows these 2 as adults. Makwa has left the reservation behind and has moved on to become a businessman, has a wife and a child with another one on the way. Ted O, on the other hand, is in prison for dealing drugs. So you can tell the 2 of them have gone in completely different directions with dealing and coping with what happened in their childhood. Chaske Spencer as Ted O is so good. He brings a tenderness and fragility to a role that really could have been played cold and hard. You really feel for his character because you know he's in the position that he's in because he was never given the tools to be able to cope with this tragedy. And Michael Greyeyes as Makwa, now Michael Peterson as an adult, is absolutely terrifying. His performance literally gave me chills up my spine multiple times. And the thing is, it's weird as a viewer because you want to feel for this character because you understand where his sociopathic tendencies come from. He was treated like absolute garbage as a child, but the things that he does and the way that he's coped with what's happened is so wrong in so many ways. Wild Indian shows the effects of generational trauma in such a profound and gripping way. It shows that the sins of our father affects us so deeply, as it will our children and their children after. It is such a vicious cycle that will never end unless we mend and heal those wounds. The film is bookended with flashbacks of a Native American in the past who is fleeing his home because he's dying of smallpox. And during the Q&A, the director and actors explained that this is something that Native Americans used to do. If they were dying of either physical wounds or an ailment or illness, they would literally leave everything that they had behind to go die alone. And I think this is a really good metaphor for Makwa, because instead of staying and dealing with his past, he's constantly running from it, and ultimately, he succumbs to it. So this film runs a very lean 90 minutes, and during the Q&A, the director said that during the pandemic, he had a lot of time in the editing room with this film and cut out a lot of it, and I really think it should have been longer. I feel like he shouldn't have cut as much out because I really was yearning for more juicy character development because I did love these characters so much and I thought they were fascinating. So because we didn't get a lot of time with them, I really do feel like the ending didn't hit as hard as it could have. However, this is a chilling and thoughtful thriller from first-time director Corbine Jr. It is beautifully shot, and the two lead performances are jaw-droppingly good. Honestly, this is one that really sticks with you. So, I will be giving Wild Indian 4 face tattoos out of 5. It is so refreshing to see a modern, realistic take on Native American life. They are so underrepresented in Hollywood, and it is such a shame. The sixth film that I saw at Sundance is an animated documentary called Flea. And this movie was picked up by Neon, so hopefully this movie will be coming to your screen soon. The film is directed by Jonas Poher Rasmussen and tells the extraordinary true story of a man, Amin, on the verge of marriage, which compels him to reveal his hidden past for the first time. Animated documentary, you ask? Yes, this documentary is animated. The film consists of interviews that the director had with our subject, Amin. Basically, the subject of the documentary did not want his or his family's identities to be revealed, so in respect to him, the director decided to change all of the names and to just animate over everything. What is so fascinating about Flea is that we really get a first-hand, singular account from this man's perspective. As an audience, we are really able to look into this man's soul, yet we never actually get to see him. In a mere 83 minutes, Amin's harrowing story takes us from Afghanistan, where him and his family are trying to escape the Taliban, to Russia, where they get trapped and are being harassed by the authorities and are trying to save up enough money so they can hire human traffickers to get them to Denmark, where they can seek asylum. All the while, Amin is dealing with his sexual identity. Our director Rasmussen has known Amin since childhood, since Amin got to Denmark, so it's really obvious that he shows such empathy and compassion and respect for his subject. You can also see his passion and love for Amin's story as well in the filmmaking and the gorgeous animation. Although I do believe, despite the artistry of the film, that this is a story that we have heard before. And I do believe 100% that all stories deserve to be told. This particular one about the refugee experience feels a tad familiar. The one thing that's making it very different is the fact that Amin is grappling with his sexuality, and I wish that the film explored this a little bit more to really make this film something altogether different. So, I will be giving Flea 3.75 Jean-Claude Van Dammes out of 5. This is a beautifully animated documentary that is lovingly shot by Rasmussen, and Amin's story is absolutely enthralling. Though I do think our subject could have let us into his life just a little bit more. The seventh film that I saw at Sundance is the vintage neo-noir thriller, Superior. The film is directed by Erin Vassilopoulos based on her short film of the same name. It stars identical twin sisters Alessandra and Mesa. The film is about Marian, who's on the run and returns to her hometown to hide out with her sister Vivian, and in doing so alters the trajectory of both of their lives. This film starts out with such a bang, and you can really tell that it has so much style. And then it goes... Seriously, that's exactly what happened. Honestly, Superior is the definition of style over substance. I feel like director Vassilopoulos knew exactly what kind of world she wanted to transport her audience to, but did not have the story to back it up at all. She completely nails the atmosphere of the film. You really feel like you're watching an 80s B-movie thriller. The costume design, the set design, the music is incredible, and it's all shot in 16mm, so it feels very authentic. But holy hell, this film is deathly slow. And I really felt, and I don't ever feel this way, like I wanted to turn the film off. I was thinking in my head the whole time, I'm like, if I was watching this in a theater, would I walk out? And honestly, I think I would have. Superior really begs the questions, what is the point of all of this, and why should I care? And Erin Vassilopoulos is not able to answer those questions in this film, unfortunately. You can really feel deep within your bones that this is a feature-length film based on a short film. There is not enough content here to warrant a 97-minute feature. There just isn't. You can feel the subplots being stretched so thin that they become meaningless. I mean, this film's plot revolves around two identical twin sisters who switch places because one of them doesn't want to go to work at the ice cream parlor. What? And then there's a subplot about one of them who's a housewife who's exploring the world now, and now she's a big old stoner. Why? And all of the thrills of the film are supposed to come from the fact that Marian doesn't know if her husband is alive or if he's not alive. And we don't really understand why she's so scared of him. Is it because he's abusive? The film really doesn't explore that enough. So there's really no thrills to be had. I just don't understand this film. And then the director gets asked during the Q&A what the point of the name of the film was. And you know what she had to say? She said the point of the name Superior is that's the town that she originally wanted to film the movie in. So you're telling me, basically, that the name of the film doesn't even have a point. Okay. I'm honestly just gonna chalk it up to this is just not my cup of tea, and that's okay. When I was watching it, I really felt, I was like, you know what, this is not my thing, but I know some people are really going to love it, and I have a feeling it might become kind of like a cult classic, but I did not like this movie at all. So I will be giving Superior 1.5 ice cream cones out of 5. Like I said, I'm just going to chalk this up to, this is not my type of film. I really do hope that people do find enjoyment out of it. And if you did, please let me know in the comments down below and let me know what I'm missing and that you loved about it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching Lost in the Reel. Please make sure to keep tuning in to all of our coverage of the Sundance Film Festival. We'll see you soon.